Hello everybody, and welcome to your next C++ Made Easy HD tutorial. So we've learned about function templates, and there's another thing that we can learn about is class templates. So class templates are similar to function templates, but there's a lot of there's a few differences, and I'm going to explain some of the differences to you here in this tutorial. So to do a class template, you have the same syntax in that you put template and you put the name of it, and that is it, and you put that before your class, and everything seems straightforward. And we could still, I'm going to use the same add function as I did in the previous tutorial so it doesn't confuse you. But we can have our add function right there, right? But let me get rid of this. The thing about function templates though is that whenever you create, when you create a class template, whenever you use class templates, wherever you declare or make something within the class, you have to declare a template before it. So in this case, we have to put template class T, and then we have to put player, and then we have to put player, then we have to put, and we have to put template before this as well. And lastly, we have to do this for our add. Now we will run into errors, and I will explain why. But the reason why we have to put template class in front of all of these is that to our program, to player.cpp, the T doesn't exist, right? The template doesn't exist. So every single time we create a function, or we're calling a constructor, or we're creating the destructor, because our class is a template and it includes a generic type, then we have to include our template at the beginning of it. Now we'll see some errors if we try to build this, and it's building very slow. But let me pause the video and okay, never mind. So it says unable to match function definition to an existing declaration. The thing about it is that whenever we declare, whenever we have a class template, we have to put the T or whatever the name is. So left stream operator, whatever the name is, right stream operator, then the urinary the scope operator, and then the name of the function or whatever we're putting in there. So we have to do this followed by this. So, oh, I'm sorry, this should be player T : add. So if we, okay, so sorry, I did this tutorial before, but I decided to redo it. So anyways, if I do player P, and I have my player class initialized, so it's not because of that. When we do player P, we run into an error, right? It says argument list for class template player missing. It's not like whenever we do a function template where it can guess whatever type it is. Whenever we do it for a class, we have to specify what T is or whatever that type name is that we specified in there. So we have to specify what this represents on initializing for the player. So let's put int in there, okay? Now notice when we call p.add, notice that it replaces T with the variable type that we put in there. So it kind of gives you a hint on what you should put in there. So now we're going to put two integer values, and everything should run smoothly, right? Well, the answer is going to be wrong, and when you run this, you're going to run into some errors, and I'll show you these errors in a second when it's building. It's just my screen recorder really slows down the computer's performance. So let's just wait for this. Okay, so it says there were some build errors, whatever, and if we look, we just see some unresolved external symbols, and to us that just seems like we don't even know what that is. The problem with templates is that they differ from regular functions or whatever like that. Whenever we create a template, it calls that template as soon as we declare it, when we call for it. So the add template is not initialized yet. We haven't created it or anything. But when it hits p.add, that's when it initializes that actual method or whatever, right? So when we go to the player.h, it comes to here and it sees the declaration, but it sees nothing inside the declaration, right? So it doesn't search for the CPP file. It declares it when it needs it, and it needs a definition for it right away. So it won't look in a different file for it. And because of that, then we run into an error. So then basically we cannot declare our class. If we have a template class, we cannot declare our function names and such in a separate file. We have to do it within the same file. So let's say bye bye to the CPP file because we don't need it. So we need to include everything in the header file. So we can do one of two things. We can declare it like this, and it will allow us to do it since there is a template, so we won't run into any errors. So we can declare it right there within our class, or outside our class we can do the same thing that we did in the CPP file. We have to handle it the same way, but it has to be within the same file as a declaration. So if it's in a different file as a declaration, then it won't look for it. Now is workarounds with the export keyword, but I won't be teaching that. I never looked much into it, and the reason why is because it's not widely supported across all compilers. Now I don't know if it is now, but from when I was learning it and stuff, they said it's not widely supported, so it's not a good thing to use if it's not widely supported. So what some people do is that they would take this and include it in a different header file, the template stuff, and then they will say include or whatever and include it there, so they don't really get confused on what it does. But when you're working with templates within a class, or using class templates, so if you're using function templates within a class or anything, you have to declare it in the same file, because it declares it whenever you call it. It declares it right as you call it, and it needs to be in the same file. That's what you guys need to know. So that is all for class templates. I hope this didn't confuse you, and I hope you gained something from it. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and bye.